then today? You're over in Germany, correct?
Yeah, I am.
So
It,
how's the weather there?
well, thankfully, it is 61, a little
Si
bit of a change from Hawaii,
oh,
but
sure. Yes.
but yeah, I mean, it's okay. We got colds from moving from a warm climate to here.
Oh, yes.
I am a little raspy. I apologize, but
That's okay. Well, thank you so much, Dominic, for joining the author's table, and I'm so glad that we were finally able to connect.
yes, me too.
It's
Thank
it's
you for
it's of course, absolutely. Now, in one word, Dominic, describe yourself and why.
describe myself and why. Um, hmm,
S-
uh, Myself.
So, who are you?
So I am many things actually. I am a mother of four. I am a military spouse. My
Yes.
husband is in the army. I am an author of a story, well, a book that I wrote. It's called Her Side of the Story. And I'm also a soul evolution coach. I am a professionally trained energy healer, and I help people move forward on a deeper level energetically.
Nice.
And so that's my main profession. And then I'm an author, like all that wrapped
Yeah.
into,
Yeah.
you
You're
know,
you're busy.
yeah, but I try to balance it out,
Yes, that's good. Yeah, that's really the way to do it is try to balance everything out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Now, yeah.
too much.
Yes. Now, what kind of writing style do you have?
Well, so my writing, so this was the first book that I wrote,
Hmm.
and quite honestly, I thought that I was going to be writing like a book, like an inspirational book, like personal growth. But I felt that I needed to write something. There was like a story inside of me, and I a couple of years ago, I had gotten an energy healing from somebody else, and that actually kind of helped me to start my own growth. And so I, well, a long story short, this book I channeled. Um, do you know what channeling is?
If you can explain that, please, if you don't mind.
So I've been a psychic. I've been psychic. I was born psychic, and so I I did get some training on it because I felt if there's a reason why I am the way that I am, it's there's got to be something deeper than
Right.
me just having this. And so I had gotten some training. I went to several different schools. I have certifications, and it gave me the ability to understand what I am. And so I have connections to higher higher things. And so this is actually a past life of mine, of Catherine de Medici. And so it was the story that was inside of me that needed to come out was her story, um, for like a healing in my
Yes.
life so that I can evolve and I can learn from what happened in the past. And because my lifetime now is actually very similar to hers, and there's things that need to heal.
Hmm.
And from that spiritual level, it's helping me to move forward in life.
Sure.
And so um and so I channeled this book. I made a connection with her, and there's past life memories that I'm they came up, and so I wrote them down, and I made a book. And so this is um,
Second.
her life and
Yes.
the things that that no one knew about. And so like all the missing pieces that history had, like I this book is everything that fills in those pieces. And so I guess my style would be just using memories,
Sure.
and I did do a little bit of research just to make sure that everything was aligned. Um, and but I don't know what type of style would it be
Yes.
considered. You know, channeling is it was I sat in front of the thing and I made a connection and I just listened to what she was telling me and I recorded it and I turned it into a book.
So maybe you're not the one that wrote it. Yeah.
I was just, I did it for her, for our soul. It's an interesting thing. It was very emotional
Hmm.
for me to write, and very personal, which was interesting. Um, but and I still feel very connected to her
Of course.
and since I am actually in Germany, I'm going to be going over there and
Nice.
I'm I'm gonna go and
Yeah.
you know um, walk in her, you know, just to relive all of it again, like just to
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now,
very
do you feel, Dominic, that this book inspired you to write?
um yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, so this has actually kind of been a start of something. So there's other books from others that I have that they want me to tell their story too, because history back then was made from, you know, just recordings or what
Right.
people personal opinions of what other people thought about them and whatnot. And so I I have written another book and then I am in the works of writing another one, but I do want to go to a certain place in France so I can make a deeper connection.
Oh, there you go. How nice. And we'll get
Hmm.
into that.
Yeah.
Now, Dominic, can you um now what are some of your pros and cons that you experienced putting your book together?
Um, pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
The pros were having the story unfold the way that it was. I didn't know what was going to happen. I wrote it chapter, it was done like chapter to chapter. And it, if, and now that I think about it, if had I known the entire story, I would have been way too emotionally overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
so it was given to me piece by piece, chapter by chapter. And, and it was beautiful. And the cons of it were I didn't know what was going to
Oh,
happen.
that kept you in suspense, didn't
Right. And so
it?
I I would um I would want to write so badly every single day. And I did. I wrote it. This book took me 2.5 months to write. I wrote every single day. And but it was just something that was so exciting and it just poured out of me. And I couldn't wait to make time to sit and just let it just flow. So,
So
but
so that was like your connection of you were being like told what to
yeah,
write, kind of.
yeah,
Wow.
yes, yeah. It was,
So yeah, it's pretty wild though. You had a helper.
yes, it was nice
Oh
because I didn't
yeah.
have to worry. I didn't have to block.
Yeah, that's right. Now, actually, did you when you were writing it, did you do a lot of editing as you went along, or was this like at the end?
So the editing, so I just let everything come out
Hmm.
because I just needed that. I needed to just get it out,
Right.
right? So the editing, then after the story was finished, I went and I read through it, and just because I wanted to clean it up a little bit, because I did hire an editor,
Okay.
um, I I was very particular because this story, like I was holding on to it for so long. Like it's an interesting thing what energy does in ourselves and when we carry it on
Right.
in our in our souls. Like for those who do believe in past lives, um, I was very like holding on to it and very protective of it. And that was something that I had to learn how to let go of a little bit. But the person that I hired, I was very particular. I was like, I don't want you changing anything.
Right.
You're not, do not change anything in the story. I just want you to help me let it flow better, and so that the readers can enjoy it, and so
And sort of feel like what you were feeling. Because if
yes.
you have someone change it altogether, it may not be the same.
No, and that's what I was terrified of. Like I
Sure.
was literally like, I don't want to have a public, like that's why I self-published.
Okay. Good.
Because
Okay.
I was so terrified that they were going to try to change the story around for the public, because sometimes that happens. and
Absolutely.
and so I wanted to have full control over how of her story, because I honored it. I wanted to honor it. So,
Absolutely. Yes. Now,
but,
now, since you brought up that you're a self-publisher, now
mhm.
since the book is completed, though, could you go to a publisher, or do you want to stay with being self-published?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm always open.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
I'm open to anything, quite honestly. If it's what the universe wants for me, I'm all for it. So, but
Okay.
at the when I was making the decision, I was very like clinging on to the story, and at the time, because it was her life that she kept secret, basically.
Absolutely.
And so now I'm here to like let it out, and so it feels a little bit different now than it did, back when I first published it. So
Now, do you feel like you are an outlet,
an
meaning,
outlet.
meaning, it came through you as an
Mm,
outlet to put it out on paper, like you were,
yeah,
yeah. I
for
mean,
sure.
that's definitely a connection that it's hard to explain to other people,
Hmm.
and instead of like, well, okay, I'm a writer and I just came up with these ideas, so I just started writing. It's a little
Yeah,
different approach.
yeah, yeah. I think definitely. And then also for the other people that have the other, I can say spirits,
Yes, yes,
that have come to me and asked me to write their story too. So, I feel like it's part of my sole purpose to share the stories of from their point of view.
absolutely. And it's
So,
probably a good thing that they can go through you because
mhm.
knowing that you can actually write it,
Yeah, yeah.
because if
No, I mean, I did it. So,
yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about your novel then, Dominic. It's called Her Side of the Story, a
mhm.
physically channeled, untold novel of Catherine de Medici, right?
Yeah. So it's psychically channeled, untold novel of Catherine de Medici. Yes.
Yes. Now,
Um, and so
now was it?
I
I'm sorry, Dominic. Was it hard, or was it easy for you to do the cover?
oh, so I hired somebody.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I well, it was going to be hard for me to do the covers.
But so was it difficult to explain to the illustrator how you wanted it, or was it sort of easy to do?
um, I basically gave him free reign.
Okay.
He is an incredible designer, and so I just discussed with him what it was that I wanted, and he's a beautiful creator, and um, and so he sent it to me, and I just made a few changes here and there, and he just did it, and I think he did a magnificent job.
Yeah, I like the cover too. I mean,
And
because
so
it brings you into that. Like, what is this about?
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you can tell because when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, this has something to say.
Yeah.
You know, so
Thanks.
yeah, you're very welcome. And I think that's the biggest thing too that authors can face is that if they don't have a good cover,
Yeah.
you know, that can either turn someone off or they may not look at it. But yours is sort of like inviting, you know,
Oh,
because
this.
yeah, because when you're looking at it, it does say something where it's like it's sort of that mystery,
Mm,
you know, because it sort of wants to bring you in there, say, I need to read a little more about this to understand what it's saying,
yeah.
you know. So
Well,
yeah,
hope lots
yeah,
of people.
yeah, yeah, because I think that's the biggest thing with self-publishing is, you know, because it's not like you have an arsenal of, you know, artists and designers
Right.
and you know people putting your book together. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a one person show, and it takes a lot. A self publishing author takes a lot of finagling to try to get that point across. You know,
Yeah.
and so I'm sorry. So let's talk about your novel then. So what is a novel about?
Well, it is about Catherine's life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she writes it from the first person. So, because I am channeling, it's basically like a narration. And so it starts from when she is leaving, when she's about 13 years old and she's leaving to go to France. And it's basically like her life of what happened behind closed doors
Mm,
because everybody has what happened outside of the kingdom and, you know, what they didn't like about her. And she's portrayed by the outside world as this terrible person.
mm,
And so, but she's still a person,
right.
you know. And so this book gets, it helps people to see her for who she truly was as a person. And there's events that people don't know about, and there's little twists, and there's some drama, and there's some truths in the story that reveal a lot of answers that history hasn't revealed because no one knew about it
Mm,
because she didn't say anything, because had she ever told the world, it would have been catastrophic.
sure.
And so this book reveals a lot of secrets.
Now, so you know, so now that you know, when you were going through the book, and then realizing what is going on.
Yeah.
You know, what was your thoughts actually when you were done and you were looking at it, and it's like, wow.
Yeah. So during when I was writing it, I cried a lot because there was a lot of things that that happened that were very emotional, and she didn't really get to release those emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And so that still like gets passed on, which is, you know, and but when I had finished the book, it was, I close my laptop and I cry and I'm crying and I'm crying and crying. And then I just sat there and I thought about how much like, she suffered in her life, but still, like, put herself aside.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is, it just made me feel closer to her. I saw her and I felt just, it's like this connection, and it's interesting of how similar her personality is. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like her, and I would do the same things that she would have done. And it's just an interesting thing to, like, after that story just unfolded, and and then I looked at my life now, and it's it's like a learning experience of
Absolutely.
then and then what's happening now. Because there actually is a little bit more to the way, like, from writing the novel. So my husband that I'm married to is actually somebody in the book.
Ah, okay.
And so, like, that lifetime popped up because we're actually kind of healing from what happened back then. And so maybe there's going to be a sequel book kind of that's associated with it.
Maybe,
I'm not,
huh?
I'm not, I'm we're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
We'll see what go to France,
Yeah.
but it's helped us in in our relationship, in our marriage that we have
Nice.
now. And so, which is what, you know, energy healing is in how we, we learn from our past. And so it's like a beautiful thing, like unfolding from a metaphysical.
That's right. Well, it makes you grow as an individual too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. What time period was this in, Dominic?
It was the 1700s, the late
Okay.
1700s.
Okay. So do you think uh, now, you know, after your book is done, now, do you feel there was a reason, that she came through you?
Absolutely. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
there was there's just, well, I benefit from it, from it's our soul that we both share. And so when that story got to come up, then I mean, it's like popping open a can and
Right.
just let, you know all the all the
Yes.
fizz just
Right.
was can, and so now it's not there anymore in my space. I don't feel all of those emotions anymore. Now I'm at peace with everything that happened in that lifetime. I don't feel that, and now I feel like I can just continue to move forward. It's
Right.
an interesting thing, like how much peace I have from writing this story, learning from what happened, and also like applying it to my marriage. So, um, because
That's
you
right.
know, as you still have to like learn from those things as well. And so it's it's been such an interesting learning experience for me, just writing the book, but then also like the world gets to see this beautiful story that no one knew about. And
That's
so,
right. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, now that you have your novel completed, what has been like the feedback from your readers?
Um, so feedback has been good, I
Okay.
think. And I've actually gotten 2 awards for my book. Well, actually 3. So the book cover got an award, and then of course, because he's magnificent, the book cover designer, and
Hmm.
then I got an international book award for women empowerment for the book. And then I also got a honorable mention for book of the year from
Fantastic.
the historical fiction company.
Wow.
So,
That makes you feel really good, doesn't it?
my goodness,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Yeah.
even,
You look back at it when before you even started writing,
mhm,
and then where you are today. That journey.
yeah,
It really makes you feel good, doesn't it?
absolutely, yes, yes, it does. And but it's interesting to think, like, because you do have a little bit, like, once you put the book out there and you're like, you get a little bit of,
Yes.
oh my god, good enough,
Yes.
and there was like um a brief, like, about a month where there were some people who were, you know being a little bit nasty about the book because they just didn't understand. And but that has actually gone away because I feel like it was almost associated with me and how I felt. And I don't feel that way because now I realize there was a story that needed to come out and I have to share it to the world.
That's right.
And and some people may like it, some people may not, and that's okay. That's okay.
That's
You
right.
know,
Absolutely.
because
Yes.
whoever loves the book, I embrace them, and whoever doesn't like the book, I still embrace them. Maybe one day they might, and that's all right. You
You,
know.
like when you were writing though, did you ever think of your target audience, or you really not, or you just wanted to put it out there?
You know, it happened so fast, and I was so focused on just
Yes.
writing. And like even after I had finished writing it, I was like, what genre is this?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just letting myself, I was like, I just gotta write this thing. I just gotta get it out. I gotta write it. And then after that, like when I was talking to the book designer, he's like, what genre is your book? I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Was it difficult though? Or is it in a genre now? Or is it
Uh categorized as historical fiction.
okay?
And so I I was like, I'll just play it safe, you know, and it people can take it seriously or they just or either that or it's just a good story, you know,
Absolutely.
story to just fill in the blanks of what happened in our life, and whether or not they believe in past lives, that's still okay. I just wanted to be honest.
Right.
My story on why I wrote it and how I wrote it, you know, and so I didn't want to hide behind that at all because I don't want any lies or anything attached to my book.
R-
Um
right.
and
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think if you really start dissecting it, then you can change the whole thing that you
yeah,
were trying to do, and it wouldn't be the same.
right.
So
So
you stayed true to yourself, and
I
that
mean I believe that that's the only way to be. And so and whoever wants to, they'll my people will gravitate, you know, whoever wants to learn about her story, they will find it, you
right.
know, and then
Absolutely.
so
Now, have you ever thought about doing a like an audio version of it?
yes, actually I'm in the works of hiring somebody,
Oh,
um
fantastic.
yes, to do the audio. So I did while I was moving, I was like listening to the auditions, and I was like, I have to, you know,
Now,
but
would
I'm somebody, and we are about to do a contract
oh,
for her.
fantastic. Now,
Yeah.
is it a woman's voice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's is it like a what kind of um nationality?
we'll see.
Ah, okay. I like it. Awesome. I like that suspense. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm glad because I if you told me then it may change it. I'm
Yeah,
glad. I'm glad you didn't say anything, and I should have. now, 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 do you have a website, Dominic?
I do. So I have a website, but it's for my energy healing business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do have my book listed on there and all the book awards and some book reviews. But it's my name. It's dominiquewright.com.
Excellent. Now,
Mhm.
do you have any events coming up?
Um,
Because I know you just moved there, so it's yeah,
have any events coming up?
yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah,
learn German.
yeah. Well, there are English speaking too, though.
Yes, yes, actually, which is fantastic because I don't, I would be so lost.
Now, your husband, does he speak German or no?
No, but we are learning.
Okay.
So,
Now,
yeah.
now, how long is he stationed there for?
So, the it's 3 years,
Right.
but
Yes.
maybe we like it and we stay. We ended up staying for 4 years in Hawaii.
Yes. It's a big
So,
difference, isn't
yeah.
it? Shell
Sure.
shock. But
Well,
but you'll love
I
Germany.
I did live in Europe before when I was younger, and so it
Okay.
was like I was from 17 to 21. I lived
Okay.
in Italy,
Oh, very
and
nice.
yeah, and so I'm a little bit familiar, but I I'm not very familiar with Germany. But that's a good thing
That's right.
because
There's a lot to see.
things and learn new things and
Absolutely.
wonderful food and And
Absolutely. Yes. Now, so what are some of your goals now? Now that your novel is finished and once you settle down,
mhm.
what are some of your things you like to try with the book?
So um, with the book, I do have the audiobook coming,
Yes.
and then I don't know, I'm open to whatever in regards to the book. I've been trying to market it and get it out a little bit more,
Excellent.
social media, but I'm only
Yes.
one person.
Yes.
However, but
Now, have you had like in a book signing event though you in the past or no?
no, I haven't had one of those yet.
Okay.
Most of my books that I sell are on Amazon. I've not done anything like in person. I have tried to reach out to people and I never get anything back. I've, which is, I think, I think it's kind of like a hit or miss with some people because they don't really, my book is different, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And so some people might be a little like, so, but there have been bookstores that carry my book, which is wonderful. Um, and
And you can check in Germany though, just to see what like the libraries and
yeah,
bookstores and just sort of talk to them and see what you can do there. I'm
yeah,
sure they would love that.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a little bit more accepted. Like, now it is.
Right.
Now it's come out a little bit more with people being accepting of psychics and healers and understanding a little bit more. Like, we're not scary and we're not scammers.
Right. Yeah. All right. Exactly. Yeah. No.
So
And I think too your next adventure, possibly a continuation of your novel, is when you go to France, and I think that's going to be pretty awesome.
yeah, for
That may
sure.
open up a whole new thing for you.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's definitely not just for myself, but like
Sure.
an, I feel called. I'll just say I feel called to go there, and so sometimes I may not see the reason for it, but I know that it's
Right.
going to be something amazing, and so
Now,
uh,
have you ever thought of doing like short stories,
I
anything
don't.
like that, or just like just your novels, in which that's wonderful too, because not everybody can do that either. You
Yeah,
know.
never thought about that, but maybe I'll look into it sometime.
Yeah, just like
I'm always open to doing new things or
absolutely yes. Because you're you know as a self-published author, you're selling your brand, meaning you. So
yeah,
really, you can do almost anything to sell yourself,
right,
to put your novel out there or, you know, I mean, it's endless. It really is.
right, right.
Even like on your like your website. Have you
Hmm.
you created your website?
Yeah, with a little help from a
Okay,
friend.
okay. So to think about what you can do on your website, you can do all kinds of things too. Different
Right.
promotions or
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. So really, I think the biggest thing for a self-published author is the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
And plus too, you can keep a lot of that costs down too.
Oh,
You just have to be aware of things what you're doing and stuff compared to like a publisher. You can
mm,
have a publisher and they're not doing anything for you. You know,
yeah. Heard
so
that.
oh yeah. So you can you can spend a lot of money on a publisher and it's like, well, I could have done that myself. You know, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, the sky's the limit, and I think you can do it. And I think what's exciting is the fact that you have an endless possibilities of your writing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can almost take you anywhere.
Yeah.
And Dominic, I wish you the very best. And
Thank you
and
very
and
much.
of course, and I know you're going to do very well. And please keep me in the loop, down the road though when you get your other novel complete. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it,
I think it's cool, but
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you have you know an advantage also because like you said though, what you do is sort of unique.
hmm
and I think a lot of people are fascinated in that. In a sense, they may not believe it themselves,
Right.
but I mean, it's like, even if you, let's say, for example, you were just creating it yourself, but
Hmm.
it's that fascination that someone says, "Oh, I like to read that,"
Yeah.
but when you're actually, it's true, then I think that there's a lot of groups that are into that.
Yeah. Well, find me groups. Find me.
I'll send you some. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do that. But they are here. I've been to some, so they are here. So it's just that it's not like your I don't want to say your everyday, but they're out there, and listening to them talk. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just like glued to them because it's just fascinating to hear that, you know. And like you said, though, yes, you got the ones that say the person's nuts
Well,
compared, but oh well, we're all nuts, you know.
it's all right. Like
Yeah,
I I understand,
yep,
because
yep,
20 years I was that person.
yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
there's been things that have happened in my life that I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm
That's
not that
that's
anymore.
right. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I think you're the only one that can explain that. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
and I think it's pretty cool though, and I do love the cover on
Oh,
your
thank you.
novel, and I think it says a lot.
Yeah, he did so good.
Do you,
Like, and
do you,
it's interesting how I found him too. It was just on a whim.
ah
Just like I found my editor on a whim. And so, but that's just how, like, I just let the universe guide me.
yes. Do you have your novel close at hand there? You can show the viewers what it looks like. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then on the back is okay. That's
What's
you.
this?
That's you.
It's me right there.
Oh, and since you just showed me the back of the novel, did you have any issues with the ISBN number?
um, just uploading it to Amazon.
Okay, but other than that, you just purchased it through them, and that was all you did.
Yeah, I just bought it and then but I did have some issues just technical
Okay,
with uploading it to Amazon when I was, but the rest of it was fine. I didn't, it just took a couple days, but it was the flow of how long it took for my book. Like it, it all just went very, very easy, which
nice.
was interesting, how
Yes,
it's meant to be. Usually that when stuff like that happens, it just, so
it was like meant to be, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Now, before we go, what
Hmm.
what was your feelings when you received your book for the first time, completed?
Oh, oh my goodness. It was,
Did it make you cry?
oh, it was just joy,
Oh
just
yeah,
out
yeah.
joy of like, oh, I just wanted to tell the whole world. I wanted to tell the whole world, and my husband was the first one to buy the book.
Oh, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I would let him read it like each chapter after I would, but he was the first one. Like my book was published, I was like, it's out now, and he was like, I'm gonna be the first one. I love it. Force me. It's just great.
That's
Um,
awesome. Yeah.
it came in the mail, and oh my gosh, like just seeing it, and then like I formatted it. Like I was the one who did the formatting, and but just seeing it actually like in my hands
Oh
was,
yeah.
oh, it's a feeling like no other. And so I hope everybody gets to experience it. It's,
Yes. I agree.
it's that you make, and no one can take that away from you.
That's right.
It's so
Absolutely.
beautiful,
That's
you
right.
know.
You,
And so it's like, and that story was inside you, even if somebody just creates that story,
that's right.
and it's something that you share to the world that is just magical, you
Yes,
know?
absolutely right.
Stories are the best thing that we can share with the world to help the world in so many different ways. And so if anybody's listening and they are, a little bit on the fence about writing or you know sharing their book, just do it. It's something that was in you that you have to share to the world, and it's magical and it's beautiful, and your people are meant to read it.
That's right. Well
So
said. I think you hit the nail on the head because that's true.
yeah.
Everybody. I always say everybody has a story to tell,
Hmm.
regardless if it's true or not.
Yeah.
It's something from within,
Yes,
and and
absolutely.
and you can't take that away. That's why it's like poetry.
Hmm.
There's no right or wrong. It's put it out there.
Right. Exactly.
And there's always someone that will enjoy it,
Yeah.
no matter where. you
Yeah.
know and you're absolutely right. You put all that time and energy into something, the research. How do you want it laid out?
Hmm.
Is the text flowing? I mean, there's so much that goes in writing a book.
Hmm.
And then when you finally get it, that copy, for the
Yeah.
first time in the mail, it's like, oh my gosh, this is mine, I did this.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and it's just that, even if you were just doing it for yourself, the fact
Right.
is, I did this.
Yeah.
And then on top of that is, once you have it published and it's out there in the world, then it's even more so.
Right.
You
To
know,
access everyone.
exactly. And I think everybody should have that opportunity.
I agree.
And I think, like with you, I can see novels down the road. I mean, not just this next one, but several.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y-
I have about 4 or 5.
Oh, you do?
Well, I have about 4 or 5 like in the making of who, and
Excellent.
it's it's gonna take some time, but that's okay.
Sure, sure, absolutely. Yes. And I'll get you on more times than.
Love that.
Yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. But again, keep up the great work and the vision,
Yeah.
and keep pursuing it. And it's gonna happen. I mean, you already did the one,
Yeah.
and plus it's gonna be in a talking version too, in which that's gonna be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. So
And I think that's the whole, that opens up a whole nother chapter, you know.
yeah,
And
I'm looking at it.
I think that's gonna. I love to hear that myself. I just
Okay.
just the accent.
I'll-
I Awesome. Yeah, well, Dominic, I thank you so much, and I wish you the very best. And please keep me in the loop, and
I will.
we'll get you back on, and I know you're gonna do it. So, and enjoy Germany.
Oh, I will. Thank you very much for having me,
Eh,
and best of luck to you too. I'm gonna send you all the good energy, and
awesome. Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate things you do for authors.
Well, thank you
Yeah.
very much. I enjoy it. It's a it's something that myself, like, I never thought, well, as an author, I'm going to have a podcast. It just, something just happened. So
Yeah.
and it's something I enjoy, and I know all the other authors love it, and
Yeah.
and hearing from you, that's wonderful, and I thank you. And but again, you have a fantastic rest of your day over there,
You
and
too.
tell your husband I said the author's table said hi.
I will.
and
I will.
and again, thank him for his service too.
I will. Thank you very much.
Of course. And you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
Okay. You too. Bye
Okay,
bye.
thanks, Dominic. Bye bye.